All right, welcome everyone. My name is Nikki. I'm from Intergroup Partners. I'm just going to introduce real quick. Our speaker for today is Montserrat from the Hannover Messe event just a couple weeks ago. So Montserrat is our fearless founder and CEO here at Intergroup. She's an entrepreneur, investor, board member, CEO advisor, a bit of everything in disruptive innovation and growth. She's also a frequent columnist for Inc. magazine, coach, and CEO advisor at events such as We Do Technologies. Just participated this week in the We Do users group in Lisbon. So we're very lucky to have her as a speaker, and I am sharing my screen and I'll be running through the presentation. Just a quick note, if you can mute yourself during the presentation, that'll just help everyone to minimize the echo. And we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll throw over to Montserrat here.
Hello, welcome everyone to our webinar. My name is Montserrat Corominas. I'm the founder and CEO of Intergroup Partners. We are an international advisory specialized on technology which help companies grow through innovation. We are dedicated across 5 key sectors, among energy, healthcare, mobility, security, and industry is one of them. And we have been regular guests from the Hannover Fair industrial exhibition, starting with back years ago when the German government introduced the concept of Industry 4.0.
We are actually one of the companies which really helped also redefine this Industry 4.0, which the German government called a couple of years ago, and it was about to say really what does that mean and what industries are organizing themselves together, what clusters are being built. So we go to the Hannover Messe every year and we understand what's going on there. And we were 4 colleagues of mine, Axel Burns, who's heading the industry lead here at Intergroup, and also Hannes Schutter, our analyst and main contributor of this presentation as well, together with our French partner, Christian Melin, and myself. If we go to the next slide, so the motto of the Messe was making the benefits of globalization or digitalization tangible. It has been the biggest fair exhibition ever on industry. It was massive. The number of visitors, all the halls were booked out, and the quality of shows that we had there was really remarkable. So there were not many words about artificial intelligence or digitalization. There were, these big banners, big marketing. Of course, there was a lot of marketing there, but there were very specific projects, very detailed technologies, and very hands-on business. So it was really a pleasure to see that in 1 year, this industry, it's really moving forward. So our main focus of this is going to be industrial automation, the robotics, predictive maintenance, and also a little bit about smart cities and connected living. On the next slide, you can see the, perfect. You can see the floor. It would be good if all of you mute so that we don't have background noise like doors, or it's very loud sometimes. You cannot really estimate it from your side. So this is the complete area of all the exhibitions which were there, and we focus mainly on the industrial automation, motion and drives, and digital factories, and as well we have trends on the energy side and industry. So we have selected 9 trends. We said, okay, from all what we have seen, what do we think it's really real and it's changing the way the industry is working? We start with the first one. So the first mega trend, it applies in many areas, are all the ecosystems and cross-industry partnerships. So there were a huge cooperation with a lot of partners coming from the connected world, like Huawei, traditional industrial providers like GE, Siemens, ABB, together with automated maintenance solutions and cloud-based services. So we had a really good ecosystems what we could see there. The main way we would see these ecosystems was in the booths of some of the stands like KUKA. KUKA creating a complete consultancy ecosystem. And it was not about integrating robots. It was really about the business models, about how to change the processes, how to visualize use cases. So they really dedicated that one part of the booth on displaying 6 different consultancy ecosystems. KUKA was not the only ones doing that. We will walk through the presentation, but it was very interesting to see how they are trying to help the industry. Also, ABB announced a partnership with IBM Watson. It's part of the ABB Ability platform, where they are combining in this platform digital technologies, tackling not only the manufacturing automation process, but also the energy optimization of that, among others. So it's a complete system. If we go to the next slide, what we have seen versus last year is these cobots or collaborative cobots, where you have a human interface working together with the robot. These are very specific cases which are being applied, and of course some of them are concepts, but the human robot interface is quite well optimized. So it really allows the possibility to have this flexible, sensitive operation working together, and also to make sure the employee is secure. There are different type of systems like airbags when the robot is moving. So the company Shook won the Hermes Award. They developed a robot which interacts with his environment, and it can recognize whether humans are approaching him to avoid collisions or others. It's very, very well developed. Of course, here we have shown robots which are made in Germany, like the company Shook, but we have seen also in Japan this year, last year, robots really where you can say in terms of cost and in terms of sensitivity is not a problem anymore. So it's very well thinkable. If we go to the next one, that's also a matter of cost. In a way, the reason why this is possible. So these are called digital twins. So digital twins allows you to manufacture life cycles in a very individualized way, and also in a high volume production. So there were many showcases where you could see how the same manufacturing line was really virtualized, and it was showing how the robots could adapt very easily and create individualized products. So this advanced simulation tool, it's something which has to do with also the speed of the rendering. The cost of using these technologies is so low, or has went much lower, that now we really see it in different types of projects. Siemens also showcased digital twin of pharmaceutical production line with Bausch and Strobel machine and fabric, which improve the quality and the flexibility of the process. So again, another example on how important it is to show the customer why and how to apply this technology in a good way. Coming to the next one, more about manufacturing. We have a picture here about these Siemens spiders. It was about additive manufacturing. So what does that mean? It means actually the possibility to manufacture in a different way in remote sites, having mobile manufacturing. So this spider boat was a showcase, and when it is this spider boat, where it is other types of manufacturing, it shows that the quality that has been achieved and the use cases really allow to create new business models about what to manufacture and where to manufacture those. So SAP also launched SAP Distributed Manufacturing Platform, which was combining some of these additive manufacturing technologies, including 3D for them. There have been also partnerships between HP and Jabil. This is a US manufacturing service company to achieve 3D at the production, 3D production at that really scale. So new business models on how to manufacture in different ways, how to improve and affect the logistic of manufacturing and the quality that's possible. If you go to the next one, one of the trends, I mean, some companies have been announcing that, especially the robotics. KUKA announced last year the welding as a service, like welding points and having small assembly lines for small medium enterprises where they could lease them or pay only per welding point, which the robots were providing to accelerate the penetration of robotic and automation in manufacturing. This year, we see complete services as a product. So Schaeffler has created a smart ecosystem where they were showing completely mobility concepts to innovate the offering. So the Schaeffler offering was consisting on hardware, software, and a team infrastructure, and they were talking about offering complete digital services. KESA, which is a Sigma, a compressor manufacturer, it's offering air as a service. So they don't sell the compressor anymore, but offer it as a solution, the compressed air. It shows again that you have all this digitalization creates really the opportunity for these manufacturing companies to build that services and try to move along the value chain. We thought it was really interesting, and it can have a good value for money if you consider small, medium enterprises and fast automation. If we go to the next trend, and that's something to be very carefully considered, and I think that this is something we discuss a lot internally, why we are not talking enough about security. So it's not a trend which was shown there, but it was a demand. There is a very large demand for solutions. We believe that a lot of investment is going to be in this area, and cybersecurity or security is the biggest threat of all this digital transformation. There has been specific studies conducted from Roden and Schwartz, as we mentioned here, where cybersecurity is really the critical topic to take decisions. So in terms of productivity and espionage, sabotage, maybe that could be a topic. We think that even more it's going to be, the systems could be accessed just by hackers. The dimension of these systems and the number of hacking, it's so high, it's increasing so much that security needs to be part of these solutions, and ideally not at the end where you have a solution or a process and you say, okay, now I'm going to make it secure. Security should be part of the concept and the design of those manufacturing solutions. So there's going to be a lot of demand for this type of IoT security. One of the partnerships which Microsoft has been conducting, Microsoft Azure, and it's with the company Micron. So they are really partnering to improve all the IoT security. It's going to be a topic keeping us busy the next years. And maybe to complement this, which is not being mentioned, connectivity. Some of those solutions are cloud-based, and connectivity plays an important role, and there also the security is essential. Another megatrend which was shown there, megatrend in the sense that we can imagine also digitizing those manufacturing processes in other areas, not only Central Europe or US. So Bosch showcased really the possibility of connecting, retrofitting a very old machine with IoT gateways. The cool showcase was really, it allows to have a very modern but old and versatile production, and IoT integration is possible. So the retrofit, we think it has it's an important matter. One of the biggest trends which has changed a lot since last year and was mentioned in the first slide, it's the ecosystem. Definitely the IoT platforms are fairly new in terms of marketing and way to go to the market. So they are really a central element to bring together data, analytics, connectivity, and IoT. The big guys like Siemens has MindSphere together with other partners. Microsoft had a very booth on that area. Also, IBM IoT Watson offering Watson as a services for small medium enterprises. So all of them are provided this scalable cloud infrastructure. We really looked at all of them because we were not certain about what's the strategy behind and what's the work really. It's going to be Leonardo SAP or a MindSphere for Siemens or ABB, or it's going to be completely different people, because we see Salesforce taking care of marketplaces for the industry and manufacturing. We see other niche players coming more from the fraud software areas entering this market as well. So we have different type of players, not only IT, but also we have telecom like AT&T. AT&T is very advanced in the US. It's worth to look at what is their strategy on this manufacturing IoT platforms area. They are setting up also the first advanced IoT integration for Mexico. Mexico is very early in the market. Basically, there is almost no penetration yet. They're very early on that. And Amazon is a very strong player, and Amazon plays, of course, the card of security, which is quite outstanding in that sense. So the key problem that all these players find is that the industry needs to identify why would be my use case better in a digitized world towards what I have today. So when you talk to them, all of them complain about having a lot of empty speeches about the IoT area, and they are really putting a bit effort with partnering, building up consultancies, building up like the IoT center in Munich from Watson, building up centers to allow the customers to talk about their use cases and experience how would it be if I would have a different vision on the analytics and I could use these different. So what's the consequence at the end of the day? So in order to accelerate all these companies, industry companies, it's needed to have a consultative approach as well as a software as a service pricing model, because it's not about buying new systems, it's about really using the analytics in a way I understand as a manufacturer, owner, and it has to provide me the data I need to optimize my business. It is a big chance for these companies. We do believe that small, medium enterprises in these areas could improve a lot and create a lot of visibility for themselves, but it's complex for them to understand, and this is where those players are competing to capture those industries, the trust of those industries. The last one, before we go to questions, in case you have any, it's a complex one. It's the digitalization empowers energy consumers. What does that mean? In the manufacturing areas, the number of players, although there are new players approaching the manufacturers, it has been the industry which has taken over the lead, and because they are very hands-on, they have this kind of attitude. They are driving the business. Of course, being confronted with a lot of innovation, but they adapted the innovation from last year to this year quite well. It's impressive to see the speed. On the area of energy, it's complex because you have two factors here. You have one big trend is the electrification. So all these grids getting sensors, getting also more electrification where you didn't used to have it. And the second is also all the mobility factors and electrical cars or infrastructure, together with grid technology and energy management. So energy is the third most important component, cost driver in manufacturing. And this digitization, it shows that the customers are obliged to deal with this, and they are obliged to deal with all these different type of technologies, which leads to the fact that those consumers or industrial consumers, they are building up internal departments just taking care of energy management integration with all these other technologies. They are becoming really very professionals on this area. So all to offer infrastructure solution here, it really needs to be visible. Why should I invest in this? And it's not going to be easy for them to understand how to manage an asset and as well take services out of it. So the integrated energy plaza was an attempt to show that the customer solutions in the energy area are cross-sectional, and that actually they are going to be dominant ecosystems where on one hand industries merging with others, but on the other hand also new industries or new players like in the mobility area might play an important role on the networks. The thing is, you can only find out what can work in this market if you work together in projects with customers and with these different players. So that's what we call it, dominant ecosystems, where it can be shown what's the benefit for them and why those solutions reduce complexity actually, rather than increase complexity. All right. So that was the main trends that we found. We are a specialized company on helping companies and corporates going through innovation. On the portfolio area, we help companies develop innovative solutions. Sometimes it is about strategies and business models. Sometimes it is more about really even defining or prototyping or helping the companies benchmarking and defining the solutions which could be applicable for their market, as well as we offer growth services for smaller companies trying to access other geographies and other industry segments. Having said that, we haven't touched the topic startup in here, because we wanted to show the trends where the industry is already operating and where the industry has already projects. In almost every of these topics, we have identified smart startups being part of those ecosystems. So if there is any question or you are interested on something specific, I think that my colleagues and me are also on the call at your disposal. Please go ahead. What has been also, if you have an idea or things which we have missed, which I'm sure, and you want to share it with the rest, please go ahead. Feel free to ask or contribute. Is there no questions?
Montserrat, I don't have any question, but thank you for the presentation. Well done. Good information, which we can use. So let's continue on this.
So thank you very much, then. You can drop us anytime questions or requests. We will share, of course, these slides with all of you, and we will also make them downloadable so that you can really forward it. It's a give and take, and we are very happy about hearing from you as much as being able to contribute with this humble opinion on what we believe was really interesting. So please feel free to contact my colleague Axel, which is based in Düsseldorf and head of the security and industry area. Myself, I'm based in Zurich, or my colleague Hannes, who is based in Munich. Of course, we are all also speak German, all of us, so feel free to reach out, and thank you very much for your time joining our call today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Montserrat.
Thank you, Montserrat.